Well, good afternoon, everybody. I just a little while ago had a chance to tour this terrific site with the Vice President, and I want to start the way she did on every stop along that tour, and that is in thanking our frontline workers, thanking the FEMA staff, University of Maryland Medical System, our military personnel, and everybody else who's part of this team to get vaccines into people's arms so they and everybody else can be safer. I have a personal reason to thank them too, which is this is the place where my wife, Catherine, got her vaccine shots a couple weeks ago. I want to say to General Cowan and the National Guard a special thanks, and also special salute, and Governor Hogan acknowledged her, to General Burkhead, who led the full U.S. National Guard deployment to the Capitol to protect our democracy after the attack on the Capitol of January 6th, and of course now here as part of this great contingent protecting Marylanders against the pandemic. I also want to commend Mayor Scott for his leadership in a great American city during very difficult times, and to our other county executives and local leaders who are here and are providing services on the front line. I want to thank Governor Hogan and your Team Maryland group for all that you've done. And I'm very pleased to be here with some of my colleagues from the federal Team Maryland, Ben Cardin, who's been just a great leader in the Senate, John Sarbanes, who you heard from, Kwasi Mfume, who is here, Dutch Ruppersberger, of course, represents the great city of Baltimore, and all of them, together with most of the Maryland delegation, joined together to vote for the American Rescue Plan. And the person, as the mayor indicated, who cast the deciding vote that allowed that bill to move forward, the American Rescue Plan, was Vice President Kamala Harris. And like Senator Cardin, I was proud to be in the House chamber for the joint session last evening and see Vice President Harris together with Baltimore's daughter, Speaker Nancy Pelosi, as they joined together and as President Biden put forward the plan for the Biden-Harris team. And the president spelled out a great plan for how we're going to move the country forward, but he also pointed out that we are already on the move. First of all, we now have a president and a vice president who take science seriously and listen to our healthcare experts. Thank you, Dr. Fauci, for being a strong and steady voice throughout this pandemic. And during the tour, we saw one of the people getting their shots with their Trust Fauci mask on. I think you got a photo shoot with them. But thank you, Dr. Fauci, and your entire team at the National Institutes of Health and other healthcare workers around the country. Thanks to the Biden-Harris team's actions, we are now defeating this pandemic. As of yesterday, over 220 million vaccine shots had been administered around the United States, and the Biden administration has been working overtime to make sure that they're delivered in an equitable manner, in many cases providing vaccines directly to community health centers around the country. So after 100 days, we are exceeding expectations in terms of the numbers of shots delivered, and we're also seeing the economic benefits resulting from the American Rescue Plan. I will not go through the details. John Sarbanes mentioned some of the Maryland-specific proposals, but if you look at what's happening nationally and you look at the news today, in addition to the fact that we're now turning the corner on the pandemic, the figures coming in, which represents the lives of every American, show that new unemployment filings are down, and the economy is picking up steam, thanks to the 100-day leadership of the Biden-Harris team and the American Rescue Plan. So we all know we've got a lot of work still to do. And that work will have to happen at the federal level, the state level, the local level, but really the most important work is the work being done by the folks on the front lines right here. Because we can pass big laws in Congress, We can issue orders, direct executive orders from the White House, but in the end, in order to make it work, we need neighbors coming together. And so it's in that spirit that I want to introduce our next speaker in the program, somebody who is a champion for Baltimore and an inspiration to us all. And that's Miss Melissa Wesby. Melissa is a registered nurse, wife, and mother of 3 who works on Johns Hopkins Bayview Hospital, at Johns Hopkins Bayview Hospital, and who has been on the front lines caring for our fellow Marylanders who've been suffering from COVID. But Melissa hasn't just been offering medical care, she's been offering fellowship too, whether that be by helping patients Zoom call their families or just stopping and listening to their concerns. She goes to work every day to make a difference in the lives of her patients and is one of the people who has been shining a shining light during this dark hour. So I'm so pleased if you could all join me in giving a very warm welcome to someone who's a public servant in every sense, Miss Melissa Wesby.